Hello. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit more casual. I will be reacting to a video done by one of YouTube's most embarrassing channels, besides mine, BuzzFeed. And this is a bit of bonus content for an upcoming episode, but I am forcing myself to react to BuzzFeed's debate series, specifically their episode on Star Wars versus Star Trek, which are two series that are often conflated as being basically the same thing. Not really. Which is part of the reason why I find it so funny that they're reacting to it. But this will just be some bonus content for you to suffer along with me and enjoy people arguing over apples and oranges, so to speak. So let's get into it.
I'm gonna have a lightsaber that's the weapon of an ancient religion that has organisms that live within your body.
It is a simple idea. It's the kind of idea an 8-year-old would come up with.
We're starting off pretty strong, it seems.
Lasers, lightsabers, tribbles, Minox. Look, we all enjoy a little escapism. Some seek it in grandiose space operas with giant armored monkey men, while others turn to hard-hitting sci-fi that sometimes happens to be about whales. But is one superior to the other? It's debatable.
Maybe I should say right now I'm not coming at this from any particular side. I really enjoy both Star Trek and Star Wars. They are very different forms of entertainment. If you're in the mood for something emotional, you're going to gravitate towards Star Wars, something more intellectual, Star Trek. But they're definitely not really, they're really not even in the same genre. But I guess we'll find out how people are going to debate them.
I'm Team Star Trek.
Star Wars, the superior franchise.
I have been a Star Trek fan since I was 6 years old.
But I find Star Wars the superior series.
Star
This is wildly embarrassing.
Trek is the best. Everyone knows this.
Star Wars for life.
Women in positions of power, Star Trek.
Oh. Okay. Well, in a vacuum, maybe we should just say that's not inherently a net positive. That doesn't make a... Oh, God. So, maybe to state the obvious, Star Wars also has women in positions of power, an utter dearth of them, actually. In fact, one of the main characters of the original trilogy. She's the leader of the rebellion, effectively, the de facto leader. Not to mention Mon Mothma, who is the actual leader of the rebellion. I guess we'll find out more what he has to say about this point as the video goes on, but not the strongest point to start on.
Is a model for a more peaceful future, whereas Star Wars is just more people shooting guns at each other and wearing stupid outfits.
Star Trek has...
What a way to trivialize Star Wars. It's not like Star Wars is anything particularly emotionally deep or complex either, especially in its politics. It's pretty simple. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like we're coming out of the gate swinging into weak points.
happens in the real world, in the future, like a couple hundred years from now.
The words.
Also, something taking place in the real world or taking place in a purely fictional setting does not make it superior or inferior, obviously. I don't know if they're just poorly argued points or they genuinely believe that that is a detriment to either franchise, but again, we're not starting off strong.
Star Wars. It's got the word wars in it. So the entire premise of the show is based on violence and fighting, where I would argue that the entirety of Star Trek is based on a construction of peace. Well,
I mean, Star Wars title promises what the content is. It does its job. It's an action-adventure series. I I don't really think I understand what he's saying. And Star Trek does the same. It advertises its contents. Star Trek, it's a journey into the final frontier. That's what the intro dialogue in the original series and Next Generation advertises.
To explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations.
I guess he's trying to make the point that Star Wars is shallower because it's more so about the action and fighting and conflict rather than any, if you will, deeper debates or concepts. But yeah, saying that Star Wars title is accurate is not, again, I'm not really seeing the argument.
So everything that happens is based on our society, our technology, and how do we change? How do we evolve? How do we become who we want to be?
But that doesn't make Star Wars inferior. It sounds like I'm coming at this from like the pro Star Wars side. I'm not. But Star Wars, if it focused on humanity more, it would be in terms of humanity's evolution, how it pertains to more classic science fiction concepts and tropes. Star Wars isn't about human evolution or what our future looks like, how we interact with our environment. It's a family drama. It's a soap opera. It's a space opera. If it was to deviate from the more classical, fantastical themes that it focuses on, it wouldn't be Star Wars. It would be more traditional, hard science fiction, and that's just not the story that George wanted to tell.
Entertainment. It's about entertainment. That's not entertaining.
Could also be about
Well, okay, let's keep going.
intellectual stimulation, but tomato, tomato.
In design, there's this concept called symmetry. It's beautiful. If you look at this, does that look symmetric to you at all? Look, I got this floppy DirecTV dish up here, and I got the one way you can see out the window right here. Compare that to this beautiful symmetrical ship.
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon is like the equivalent of like a 50-year-old Volkswagen that's been used to the point where it's reaching perhaps its decommission date. It's not a flashy ship. The first time we're introduced to it, Luke says, "What a piece of junk." It's not supposed to be that visually appealing. I mean, it's a smuggling ship. The USS Enterprise is the flagship of a massive navy designed to go on deep space explorations and house a crew of minimum 50 to 100 people, to say nothing of all of the civilians who may or may not be on board. To compare them is like comparing a Carnival cruise ship to your mom's old SUV. Again, what impact this argument has on the quality of one franchise versus the other, I think I'm lost on it.
And this is just so symmetrical and so basic. With this, you got Han Solo's character.
Star Trek paints a world.
That is a good point. The Millennium Falcon does say a little bit about Han and Chewie.
Where everybody is in one of these. Like everyone's in a goddamn Prius. The Millennium Falcon, that thing's fucking falling apart. That reminds me of my 91 Toyota Camry.
What are those for?
It's aerodynamic.
So is this.
This kind of looks like a flying saucer. This is progressive.
You want to tell me that this does not look like a flying saucer? You could literally put a cup of tea on top of that thing and use it as a saucer.
Star Trek is so alienating in how perfect and distant it is. It is, if anything, a pipe dream of what humanity.
I disagree, but the point he's making isn't incorrect. It is a pipe dream. It's Gene Roddenberry's ultimate optimism for what humanity could be. And hopefully we follow that more closely than some other bleaker science fiction outings. But it's not alienating at all. It's, I would argue, inspiring. It's comforting to think that we could outgrow some of our less admirable traits as a species and learn to embrace a better way of life. I don't think it's alienating at all.
Humanity can be, and Star Wars is a reflection of our true complex nature.
I think it's definitely a reflection on human behavior and relationships, but I don't think it's two very different arenas of deconstruction. Oh, this is a great framed. I just realized what I'd paused on. I mean, Star Wars feels much more. Star Wars is much more interested in the exploration of more so the narrow path of the hero's journey, how we face great obstacles, how we overcome impossible odds. And Star Trek is a lot more focused on what humanity could be, rather than these sort of personal scenarios in which we have to not just overcome terrifying odds, but also ourselves.
I think that's bullshit.
I don't know. Does Star Trek have Jar Jar Binks?
What's wrong with Jar Jar Binks?
She shouldn't have said that. I think she just shot herself in the foot.
Who doesn't fucking love Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, and there's a time and place for rhetorical questions. I don't think this was one of them.
But Star Trek, it is best enjoyed after you've graduated with a liberal arts degree. Star Wars is a place for imagination and youth to enjoy something and to get wrapped up in a hero's tale.
Star Wars is a childish tale of black versus white, good versus evil, another stupid hero trope. Like, we need more of that crap.
I don't know. He's speaking as if Star Wars is a recent thing. It's 40 years old at this point. And I don't think there's ever a time where we're not going to want more black and white fairy tale-esque stories. I mean, we've been telling them basically since we could verbalize, and we have not stopped. There's something pretty magnetic about narratives about the sort of human experience, and these fantastical tropes. They sort of live in our collective unconscious, and that's why we can all generally relate to them, why we all find them so engaging. But to call that stupid, I find pretty short-sighted, especially, if you're a Star Trek fan, I feel like you would have some of the sense to recognize that this debate is just beneath you. You are committed to fighting, which any of the characters on any of the shows would probably be far above. They would sit down and have a conversation with you about why you might feel differently. But to attack the other side in this pretty childish way, ironically, is very short-sighted and feels almost like a betrayal of Star Trek's code of ethics and character. I know I sound like I'm shilling for Star Wars, but the Star Trek people aren't making great arguments here.
I guess we could delve into the sexy factor. I mean, Carrie Fisher in the bikini.
Okay, I spoke too soon. Star Wars side is not making any good arguments either.
I mean, we've got to go with that. What do you have in Star Trek?
Are you kidding me?
Every alien Kirk ever slept with, which is half of the aliens in the galaxy. You have William Shatner in his prime.
But Han Solo, I mean, is there a sexier guy than that? I mean, he's a man's man,
What's the deal with the...
What exactly is the argument here? Who's sexier, Kirk or Han? That'll be the nail in the coffin for this debate. Once we figure out which of these guys is more appealing, we'll know which series is better.
CP3O, C3PO.
You know his name.
You need a translator for Chewbacca. You need a translator for R2-D2. Those aliens are so thin, they can't even...
No, the fun of R2 and Chewie is that you can use your imagination to transpose what they are saying. If they could speak, they'd be a lot less interesting. It removes any of the active imagination in their characters. They don't need to talk.
Speak for themselves.
About a franchise that was built for entertainment, for people to buy tickets to go to movies or watch TV at home for them to be entertained. Of course.
Does something's marketability enhance its value or say anything about its value or quality? I mean, mean, I can think of about 100 marketable items or toys or products that were wildly successful, but that doesn't mean that they're high in quality. That doesn't say anything about them, whether something sells well. Not to mention the number of blockbusters that come out that are just garbage, Star Wars included. I think I think all these people are focused on the wrong things in this debate.
Of course I'm gonna get fired up about it. If we were talking about something like climate change, sure, we can have a rational discussion and sit here and discuss it.
What? What does that have to do with anything? We're on closing statements, and yet no one has made any productive arguments. I don't know why I'm surprised.
Could be a Luke Skywalker and have a laser sword and be like a space samurai. That sounds like super fun.
I can't respect people who like are Star Wars fans over Star Trek. It's nuts to me.
Look at how many.
Well, that's it then. I guess that's it. I can certainly respect why someone would prefer one over the other. I mean, again, they're not the same thing. And of course, different things appeal to different people. Yeah, like I said earlier, that seems like an utter betrayal of any manner in which any character from Star Trek would think, frankly, that they would be so shallow as to judge someone, not have any respect for them based on a series that they like. That's really something.
Iconic things that it's done. The best villain, and not to mention like the best movie lines. Luke, I am your father. Everybody.
It's not Luke, I am your father. It's no, I am your father. Maybe all of these people need to reevaluate the franchises that they claim to love so much. Maybe that would clear up this argument. Maybe it would make things a little bit clearer for everyone participating.
Who knows where that comes from?
But that's the thing, you know, it's fantasy. You're in this world where stuff is just amazing.
Do you want to use the...
Yeah, Star Wars is fantasy. It's not science fiction. It's got a lot of science fiction aesthetics and, you know, all the things that we decorated in, like the spaceships and the technology, et cetera, but it's not science fiction. It's a fairy tale. It just happens to take place in space. Star Trek is pretty firmly hard sci-fi. That's what it is.
The Force or live long and prosper? I hope that you live long and prosper to come to the right decision.
I'm not either. There's no teams. They're not the same thing. It's like saying, are you team Transformers or Animorphs? On the outside, yeah, generally, main characters, they can change their shape and their appearance, but they have nothing to do with each other. They might share similar wiggle room in terms of what their genre is. They are not the same thing, and neither are these two franchises.
I just feel like we're never gonna see eye to eye.
Okay, I don't want to watch any more BuzzFeed videos ever again. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.